Oh, there it goes. See? You scared it. Bippity boppity boo, he says. Yes, I agree. Okay, so this was just one of those nights where the record button wouldn't work, and so now we're on the air, and we're also recording. So that's the whole point of the exercise. Thank you, Zach, for being so willing to come on out here and scare the equipment into cooperating. I appreciate you. Yes, he thinks I'm funny. It's all good. I'm hilarious, I know. All right. Huh? I know, I'm so funny. Everybody forgot to laugh. I know. All right. So it's the end of October. It's almost my favorite day of the year, Halloween. You know, people send me Halloween cards like they send other people birthday cards. It's pretty awesome. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't think of me when they think of Halloween. And I'm okay with that. Halloween is a different thing for, I think, everybody. As much as I love Halloween, I don't do trick-or-treaters, primarily because I have the dogs, and it's not a good situation, you know, in my mind, to have to keep opening the door and, you know, risk the dogs getting out, the dogs being scared, people being scared of the dogs, and that's just me. Sure, I mean, I encourage everybody, maybe not to do the same things I do, but to be careful about Halloween and their pets. You know, it's an awfully easy opportunity for an animal to slip out the door, whether it's a dog or a cat. I think that, you know, if you're going to entertain trick-or-treaters, your best bet's probably to keep the cat in another room with the door closed, to keep, you know, dogs, if you can, you know, in another room with the door closed or with a gate up, or somehow they can't get to the door and get out. There's also the possibility that, you know, if you've got trick-or-treaters and little kids and they're afraid and they're gonna scream and carry on, and, you know, it incites, you know, a dog's curiosity, and, you know, it becomes not a cool situation, not a cool dynamic at all between your trick-or-treaters and your animal. There's also the possibility of, you know, a dog being scared by the costumes and reacting, and then that would not be a good situation. Another reason to keep dogs away from the door and trick-or-treaters. You know, it's one of those, obviously, holidays where, you know, you've got candy involved and there's chocolate. That's not, those, you know, chocolate's not good for dogs. Any sugar-free candy with artificial sweetener can be deadly to your dog, like faster than you could even imagine. So the vigilance needs to be on high when it comes to not letting your pets get into the candy. You know, I mean, it's not good for them. It's not cute. It's not a lot of things, you know, to have the dog get into, you know, your stash of, whether you're handing it out or you thought you were going to hand it out and now it's just yours, or after trick-or-treating when you've got, like, you know, your kids' stash that they brought in. You really need to be careful. And, you know, I talk about stuff like this pretty much every type of holiday. You know, I'll be on my little soapbox just before Thanksgiving too about the dangers of that. But, you know, as part of your family, which is what your pets should be, you really need to protect them and look out for their best interests. You know, there's a lot of dangers for cats at Halloween, particularly black ones, and I'm going to tell you also white ones. You know, there are people out there who mean them harm, so it's a much better thing to keep your cats inside on a regular, but especially around Halloween. And, it just will keep them out of the realm of people who don't have good intentions for whatever reasons. And, there's the superstitious reasons, and then there's, oh great, it's Halloween and it's a black cat kind of reason. And, then there's religious cults and stuff that, do ugly things to animals. So that's where the white ones come in. So, treat your pets like the family members that they should be, and protect them, and everybody will be better for the wear. And hopefully whoever's got plans for Halloween will enjoy them. It's always kind of yicky when a good holiday like that falls on a weekday, but it's a Thursday this year. So, next couple of years we have a better shot at, having a better time with it. But, we'll take the Thursday. It's going to come no matter what. And, I'm just going to be locked up in my little space and enjoying all of my Halloween essence, so to speak, because, I've got everyday stuff that's other people's Halloween stuff, but we'll leave that alone. It's, my decor. But enjoy it, and just like I said, make sure that you are treating your pets like the family members that they should be, and think of it from their perspective, think of it from protecting them perspective, and everything should work out just fine. You really don't want to have an opportunity for your animal to escape. So my best advice is just put them in a safe place that's not going to be subjected to all the traffic. So that's just me. That's just the way I think. Anybody else has any better suggestions, you can feel free to let me know. But I just think that that's the way to go. Anyway, so for the most part, on this show, it's about animals, and very rarely about people per se, unless that person has anything specific to do with animals. And so it's a departure for me a little bit with this next story, except for the fact that she's a dear friend of mine, and some bad things have gone down. I'm sure that if you watch the news or if you're plugged into social media, you've probably seen the story covered. But my dear friend Doreen has had a really rough couple of weeks, and I can't imagine being in her shoes. Now, Zach, you can put up the pictures. Stop right here. This beautiful friend of mine has had this purse stolen from her, right out of her car. And if you saw the news, if you know the story, here it is, just, a quick recap again. She lost both of her parents in a matter of a few years. She was meeting her siblings at a restaurant, and, it was their parents' favorite restaurant. They were just kind of having a celebration of their parents' lives. And she put her purse in her car and turned around to continue to talk to her family, and her purse got stolen right out of her car with them right there. And it's bad enough, it's really a cool purse. That's bad enough. It's bad enough that, we put things that mean things to us sometimes in addition to necessities in our purses. And Doreen was no different. She had, the prize in her purse of a letter, a handwritten letter from her father that she's carried since 1996. So she's had this letter in her purse since 1996, and now some jerk stole her purse and it's gone. Her cell phone was in there. You know, she had extra keys to things in there. You know, never mind the usual of, you know, money, wallet, etc., etc. So, yeah, that's a pretty awful thing right there in itself. But it gets worse because whoever stole her purse, keep scrolling, Zach, go on to the cars, stalked her out, and with those extra sets of keys, went to her house days later and took both of her cars. Now, when I tell you that if there's a person in this world who doesn't deserve this, Doreen is the sweetest, kindest, most compassionate, generous. I mean, I can't say enough beautiful things about her, and you can show the pictures of her that are there. She's an animal advocate. She's a member of Desmond's Army. She supports rescues and shelters. She's the most beautiful person inside and out. And, you know, for this to happen to anybody, it's bad. But for it to happen to someone who is just so good, it's just that much more painful to have to even think about. So now, while there's probably not a lot of hope to recover her purse, you know, I guess it is possible. I mean, sometimes, you know, they just grab what they grab and then toss it. So maybe it's around the restaurant. I don't know. Maybe it'll turn up somewhere. Someone will find it, and, you know, there'll still be stuff in it that can be sent back to her. The cars, how devastating. 2 cars. You just want to, like, sneak in and thief them in the middle of the night. How can you be so low? My heart is broken for my friend. I love her dearly. I would love to see nothing more than for her to get the contents of her purse back. The cars, it's a painful thing, but we get attached to our cars too. And, you know, realistically, what is she supposed to do without a car? Well, I know, not very much, and not just one, but 2. So one of them is a 2001 black Mazda Tribute, and the other one is a 2013 Hyundai Genesis. And you're asked if you have any information about the purse or its contents or the vehicles or who might have done this to someone who, again, would be the last person in the world I would ever wish this on. Please call the state police at 860-626-7975. Once again, that's 860-626-7975. Or you can call the Newington Police Department in Connecticut at 860-666-8445, 860-666-8445. Again, just unbelievable that, you know, the magnitude of what was done to this wonderful woman. And please, if you know anything, speak up. And if you can share this and get it in front of as many eyes as possible. Like I said, this woman is an animal advocate. She supports shelters. She's a member of Desmond's Army. She's a dear friend. Please just do everything you can to try to help restore Doreen's world back to the way it should be. Alrighty, so I'm going to take the camera back. And let's get a quick look at the revised birthday dogs list. Out of all of them, Lester had been the first one to be adopted. And the brilliant news this week is that Toledo is now in foster, which, you know, the poor guy is ill and doesn't deserve to spend his sunset time in a shelter. but there are still all of these dogs looking for homes. And I talked about Luna in Glastonbury last week, and a little later in the show, I will be speaking about another one, but you'll have to wait until I do. All right, so next up we've got Lego. And look at this guy. He is absolutely stunning. I know, right? Zach's like the face. He's a stunning young guy who needs a home. He'll need a place where he can get plenty of exercise. He seems to do well with other dogs of all sizes as well as cats. Due to his size and energy level, he would probably be best suited for older children just because he'd be a little overwhelming to smaller ones. Lego will need a little work to do better with basic manners and walking on a leash, but he is absolutely ready to be the newest member of his new family. If you are interested in Lego, you can reach out to the New London, Connecticut Animal Control, and their number is 860-447-5231. Once again, that's 860-447-5231. Next up, we have Camel. And look at this beautiful girl. She arrived at the shelter in rough shape. She was underweight and with severely infected eyes. She's doing much better now and is ready to be loved by a new forever family. Camel would do best in a home with no other pets. She loves to have all the attention to herself and actually thinks she's a lap dog. There's a lot of larger dogs that I have known that seem to not realize their size and kind of like to be in your lap and all up in your face. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I love a big lap dog. Anyway, due to her previous eye infection, Camel will need eye drops for the rest of her life because she has a problem producing tears. But the good news is that, you know, just the over-the-counter variety has been working fine. So it's not something that anybody would have to necessarily be worried about investing in, so to speak. Anyway, so Camel is also at the New London, Connecticut Animal Control Facility, and the number there is 860-447-5231. Once again, 860-447-5231. Next up is Mixer. Zach really just kind of... Again, that big black head. Yep, Zach is loving his big black head. He's a gorgeous dog, and apparently poor Mixer was adopted out and returned. Don't know the specifics, but it seems that, you know, he's looking for just the right home to help him learn some manners, and that might be the root of that problem, and to help him settle into family living. You know, not every dog is for every person, and not every person is for every dog. And sometimes it just requires a little bit of work, and that's what scares people off. You know, they think that right away, you know, a dog who isn't settling in an instant is, you know, a bad dog, or, you know, not the dog for them, or they don't have the mental tools to work with it, to whatever's going on, to try to change the behavior. And that's where the recipes for disaster start. But anyway, he definitely just needs a little work, and that's a 4-letter word, but it's not an impossible word. I'm sure that Mixer just needs a chance, as they all do. So he loves to play and is always ready for a belly rub. Again, with a little work and lots of love, Mixer will reach his full potential as a wonderful companion. He is at the East Haven, Connecticut Animal Shelter, and the number there is 203-468-3249. Once again, that's 203-468-3249. And really, this dog is gorgeous. Just look at him. I think that, you know, he's probably as good as he is gorgeous. And again, he just needs a chance. All right, so The next birthday dog that I would like to bring to everyone's attention again is Washington. And, Washington is a handsome little lowrider. He is a dog who has been waiting, oh my gosh, it's got to be probably close to 2 years for a home, and I don't understand why. I've done a piece in my column. I've aired him on the show. He's been a birthday dog. He's gone to training. He's got a great personality. He's gone through training for some, I don't want to say behaviors, but just to fine tune him. Sometimes dogs don't have the manners that they should. No one's ever taught them how to behave, and so they become a little unruly, I guess I would say, or I don't know what the right term would be, but they're not. They try to get away with stuff, and I think that's kind of like, because he's so gorgeous, he's been in foster homes that have just kind of let him slide and not really tried to crack down on any of the little things, because hey, why? I mean, he's not bothering anybody. But if you're trying to prepare a dog for a home, it's usually best to have them at their best. So poor Washington just needs, again, a chance like everybody else. I mean, he's a total looker and he's a total love. He's just waiting for someone to scoop him up and reinforce any of the work on his manners and his, his behaviors. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. It's not like he's badly behaved. He's a really cool dog. He's a really good dog. And, he'll make somebody a wonderful pet. He is actually probably best suited to be an only right now, just because of everything that's gone on and how long it's been. But that doesn't mean that it has to be forever. Who knows? It's going to depend on, how he does and who he's with and all of that. But I think that the goal right now is to try to have him be an only, just to get him settled into a home life and, get on with the rest of his world. So if you're interested in Washington, I mean, he's gorgeous. He's such a good boy. The rescue adores him. It's another one of these situations like, why is this dog just waiting for a home? Anyway, if you are interested, info at BAARKLI.com. Once again, info at BAARKLI.com. And next up, we've got Juniper. Juniper, who is, a sponsor dog, who is one of my birthday dogs. She arrived over a year ago at the shelter. She was, a dog that was not confident, a dog who was very fearful. The shelter volunteers have worked with her very hard. She's come out of her shell. She's become such a wonderful little lady who is learning to trust people. She needs someone to help build her confidence and help her get on with the rest of her life and learning what it's like to live in a home, which she really hasn't had in so long. Who knows what her background is and where she came from, but she definitely is another dog who needs a little work. She's kind of under socialized with other dogs, although she does well with them. She would probably be best with a dog who was patient and tolerant and, could show her the ropes. Again, another dog who just needs a chance. All these dogs need chances, and that's, it's not asking too much. So Juniper has her own Facebook page, and that's Juniper Needs a Forever Home. And if you're interested in finding out more about Juniper, you can either check out her page, or you can call the Town of Hempstead Animal Shelter at 516-785-5220. Once again, that's 516-785-5220. So let's go back real quick to the birthday dog poster. And, you know, just keep in mind, yes, Juniper's a birthday dog, Washington's a birthday dog. You know, we've got Luna, who we talked about last week. There's still Max, who was one of my sponsor dogs. And there's still Pia, who has been waiting forever and ever and ever for a home. And I'll take a little time and talk about the rest individually in the coming weeks. But, you know, my goal, if you're not familiar, and for all the, unfortunately, for all the reruns that have shown this year because I've been so ill, the birthday dog show is still the one that's been running. Birthday dogs are dogs that I choose for my birthday. All I want is for them to go home. So, you know, we've got basically 2 down and the rest to go. So please help me share them. Please help me network them. If you are interested in adopting, maybe you'll consider one of them. You know, it would be awesome to see these animals get their homes, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, it's still going to be my birthday wish fulfilled. And, you know, what more can I ask for? So anyway, I will take the camera back and maybe we can just run through the pictures of our adoptables. You know, all of these dogs, so very deserving. You know, check out the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page for more and links. And I'm gonna say peace, love, and dogs, and of course, happy Halloween. Thank you for watching, and good night.